Next, let's talk about unions. When creating a union, the tables must come from the same data connection. Each table must have the same number of fields, and related fields must have matching field names and data types. So there's lots of constraints before you could do a union. And if these things, if you don't meet these constraints, and that's what data cleaning and data prep is all about, before you would do your union. There are different ways to create unions in Tableau. You could create manual union. You could create the unions manually, I should say. You could use a wildcard search, and you could have Tableau search multiple folders or directories using some kind of wildcard search. After the union is completed, Tableau adds union metadata to the new data source for visualization. And in order for you to understand what the union is doing in Tableau, I want you to just look real quickly at the underlying data. So here I've opened up the sample data workbook, and it's got two worksheets, one that has purchase information for 2019 and one that has purchase information for 2020. And unioning will take the data from each of these two worksheets and combine them vertically into one data source. Here we have the same data. Again, remember, I just copied the file over, but I called this one purchases 2018, and then this data purchases 2017. And you'll see at the end of the video that we're able to combine all 4 years vertically into one data source. So we're able to do analytics across the 4 years worth of data. We'll take a look at that now as we watch this video for creating unions in Tableau. Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to union data in Tableau. The first thing we have to do is connect to some data. I've got two files here, sample data and sample data 2. They actually contain the same information, but I'm just want to show you a few things you could do in Tableau. So you'll notice when I open up sample data, it contains these two worksheets. It's got information about purchases in 2019 and 2020. So I don't want to drag anything over here onto the logical table or the relationship canvas. I want to union them. So I'm going to, because I just want one data source with all the 2019 and all the 2020 information combined. So I'm going to double click where it says new union, and there's various ways you could do this. When there's only a couple worksheets or tables that you want to union together, and again, assuming that the column names are the same, the data types and the structure are the same, it's simple just to drag them over, one on top of each other, click OK, and you can see we have our union data. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, so let me just back out of that, is show you a different way to do that. So again, I double clicked on new union, but now I'm going to choose the wildcard search option. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say include sheets that include anything that starts with purchases, and then I'm using the asterisk, the wildcard. So it's going to look for anything in this workbook that includes purchase, where the sheet name is purchases and any date. So if we had a worksheet with 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or 100 years, it would union all that data. I'm going to click OK, and you'll see we get the exact same results. Okay, so we've got all the 2019 and all the 2020 data. The other thing that you could do is you have to make one connection. So we've got a connection to the sample data, and I could use the same the same wildcard purchases. But what I want to do is is leave this blank, right? So I'm saying include all workbooks, not just this specific sample data workbook. And if I say expand search to subfolders, it's going to do that. So I'm in a folder in my documents, and as soon as I click OK, Tableau is going to look through all the subfolders in the document for any worksheet that has purchases and any other date in there. So you're going to see as soon as this is done, it finds that second sample data Excel worksheet, the sample data 2, and it's going to union that data as well. Keep in mind it's the exact same data. I just made a copy of it, but you'll see that instead of having 43 rows of data, we'll end up with, I think, 86, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm going to click OK. It takes a little bit of time to search through the subfolders, and you can see that's what it's doing now. But as soon as it's done searching, you'll notice that as I scroll through, again, we have 86 rows. So one thing that the union does, I should have mentioned this, is it adds metadata. So in this case, it's showing the path that it looked at. So everything is coming from my folder for this data analytics class. Okay, and you can see here the sheet, we got purchases 2019, purchases 2020, purchases 2017, and purchases 2018. Those last two obviously are not here because we only have a connection to this one data source, the sample data. But Tableau searched through that subfolder and found another Excel worksheet with or workbook with sheets that had purchases in the beginning of the sheet name, and then it unioned those. So that's how you create unions in Tableau.